Karen's obsession with control escalated dangerously when she tried to destroy my lake cabin using a series of 30 HOA fines, believing that bureaucratic intimidation could compel me to relinquish my property. She assumed that relentless financial pressure, combined with her audacious sense of authority, would force compliance. What she didn't anticipate was that I would uncover the reason behind her actions, and her scheme would unravel spectacularly. It began when I received a stack of notices from the HOA, each citing a different violation. The sheer number, 30 fines, was overwhelming at first glance. Karen had meticulously crafted each one, aiming to overwhelm, intimidate, and create a sense of hopelessness. She assumed that fear and bureaucracy would be enough to make me submit. But I had dealt with her before, and I knew better than to succumb to her audacity. I carefully reviewed the fines, cross-referencing them with property records, legal guidelines, and prior communications. One by one, the so-called violations crumbled under scrutiny. Some were fabricated entirely, while others were minor issues that had already been addressed. It became clear that the fines were not about legality. They were about control, harassment, and an obsession with dominance. Determined to uncover her motive, I investigated further. Through research and discreet inquiry, I discovered that Karen had a hidden agenda. She aimed to manipulate ownership and access to the lake cabin, likely planning to benefit her family financially. Her audacity had blinded her to the fact that every action left a trail, every scheme could be uncovered, and every overreach could be exposed. Armed with evidence, I approached the HOA and Karen directly. Calm, methodical, and prepared, I dismantled her arguments, exposing the falsified fines, the fabricated violations, and the audacious attempts at coercion. Karen, once confident, faltered as the depth of her deception was revealed. Her smirk faded, replaced by panic and desperation as the truth came to light. Neighbors and community members, many of whom had been aware of her previous antics, gathered to observe the confrontation. Karen's once imposing aura dissolved under scrutiny, legal authority, and public exposure. Her audacity, which had driven her to attempt the destruction of my property through bureaucratic manipulation, had now become her undoing. Karen's son and other supporters watched helplessly as her schemes unraveled. The confidence and entitlement that had fueled their overreach now crumbled under the weight of preparation, documentation, and factual exposure. Each of her prior attempts to manipulate, intimidate, or control contributed to a growing pattern of public humiliation and legal vulnerability. By mid-afternoon, the 30 fines were nullified, her attempts to seize or destroy the cabin fully thwarted, and Karen was left flustered, powerless, and humiliated. The HOA's repeated attempts at intimidation had failed spectacularly. Karen's audacity, which had previously relied on manipulation and fear, had collided with preparation, authority, and reason and lost. This incident reinforced a critical lesson. Audacity, entitlement, and obsession with control cannot overcome preparation, legal knowledge, and factual clarity. Karen's repeated overreach, escalating into manipulation of fines and bureaucratic harassment, had predictably resulted in failure, public exposure, and humiliation. By evening, the lake cabin was fully secure, peace restored, and Karen's influence diminished further. The saga continued, but each confrontation further documented the undeniable pattern of audacity meeting authority and losing spectacularly. Karen's obsession with control had once again collided with reality, leaving her powerless, exposed, and publicly humiliated.